Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jared, and today we are going to be taking a closer look / conducting a full review on the Spyderco Manix. And this particular variant is, oh yeah, you see it, that M390. So let's just do some quick size comparisons. So we got the PM2, the Para 3, and the Benchmade 940. Now, the Spyderco Manix 2, this is a special knife, guys. This is probably, in my opinion, the best Spyderco, period. Like, if I had to pick one. Now, it's not easy, right? It's like picking one of your favorite, it's like being asked to pick your favorite child. That answer shouldn't come too easily, but if you were forced at gunpoint or knife point to pick just one, I'm going to go with the Manix 2, and just to make things a little bit more enticing, we're going to go with the Manix 2 and M390, because that is a phenomenal steel right there, guys. In fact, just a quick little note about the steel. M390 is from Bowler, right? It is to my understanding that metallurgically speaking, M390 is identical to 20CV, which is also identical to CTS 204P. The only differences there are going to be the branding. So this is Bowler, the 20CV is going to be Crucible, and the CTS 204P is going to be by Carpenter. I don't know that for a fact. It's just based on the bit of nerding out and research that I've done. So do with what you want in terms of that information is what I would say. So the Manix 2, okay. We're coming in at 4.3 ounces, right? With a total length of 8.06 inches, with a handle length of 4.66 inches. We have 3.4 inches of M390 with a 2.95 inch cutting edge. Now, the blade shape is very interesting. It's just a leaf. I'll call it a leaf shaped blade. We have a full flat grind, and we have 125 thousandths for the blade stock thickness. Very nice, very slicey. Everything about this knife is going to be super, super slicey. So let's talk about the lock on this for a minute. So this is the ball bearing lock, and essentially this lock is genius. It really is. It looks a lot like an Axis lock, and you would think that it somewhat functions in the same way. It does and it doesn't. It operates in the same manner where you can use it almost like a button lock, or you could flick it open. See, just like that. But what the Manix 2 does is there's a little ball bearing. Let's see if we can see it. So right now there's a ball bearing sliding against right there. Right there, it's hard to see. So when the knife is fully deployed, that ball bearing is going to disappear because it's going to be pushed into the tang. See that? One more time. So there's the ball right there. And then watch this. Shoot. So right now, in order for this lock to fail, that ball has to be crushed essentially, or there has to be mechanical failure right here. As the way the knife is, if there's pressure being pushed, like placed on it, I don't believe the lock can fail if this mechanism, if the spring breaks. I don't believe. Don't quote me on that. But something really cool about this lock. So Blade HQ, I think they conducted a series of tests on the various strengths of locks on different knives. And this was an interesting one. This was up there. So theoretically, this knife is rated, the lock strength is rated to around 970 pounds of suspended weight, theoretically. Now, the way that this actual knife was tested in their strength test was they had it sitting Imagine that the blade is open. They had it sitting vertically like this. They had a cable wrapped around the blade, and they pulled it with a hydraulic, it's like with a hydraulic press, or just they pulled it very quickly, and they had a scale attached to it. And it was interesting. So when they did it like that, the scale weighed, I think it was like 230 pounds, but apparently that wasn't the same as suspended weight. They had like a formula or modifier. Anyways, point being, the way that this knife failed was super interesting because the screw breaking through the frame was actually like the point of failure. It didn't have anything to do with like the locking mechanism. It was essentially the housing that holds the locking mechanism, which is just really, really cool. And it's simple, it's strong, and it's effective. And anytime there's ever moving parts, guys, simple is always going to be better. So keep that little fact in mind there. If you ever need to, suspend yourself from a mountain, make sure you carry a Manix too. Let's see, what are some other cool things about this knife? So the ergos, oh, shoot, man. Do we even really need to talk about this? I mean, this knife is probably the most ergonomic knife, production knife, period. I mean, yes, ergonomics are going to be highly subjective, but on a whole, I think it's fairly unanimous that the Spyderco Manix is just, I mean, it is an ergonomic dream. It really, really is. It doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. We got the jimping on both the top and the bottom, and we have it on the frame back here, up here, and it just, oh man, it just really, really feels molded to my hands. Now, the aesthetics, a lot of people think that this is an ugly knife. A lot of people think Spyderco knives in general are ugly. And to that I say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I personally love the look of Spyderco knives. It's one of the things that really drew me to Spyderco initially, just the interesting looks. And a lot of people say that this is an ugly knife, and I think this thing looks badass personally, but that is, again, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Now, the carry on this, I don't think that this needs a deep carry clip for a number of reasons. There are certain Spydercos where, yes, okay, they need a deep carry clip, and the first one that comes to mind is the Para 3. But with this, if you put a Lynch clip on this, it's going to be like, right, it just looks very strange to me. And I don't think that this needs to be sitting all the way down in your pocket like this. I like to have a little bit of room to pull it out of my pocket. But that's just me personally. I don't believe that it absolutely needs it. So, and my overall opinion on this, man, it is... Now, I love the PM2, and I feel like on this channel I've just been shitting on the PM2 a lot. I love the PM2. There will never, ever be a knife that can officially replace this knife, just because it was my first real Spyderco, and just, oh man, I just love this knife. What can I say? And I love these scales, by the way, too. But the Manix really outperforms the PM2 in every conceivable way. And if you can think of a scenario where the PM2 is going to outperform the Manix, it doesn't have to even be this Manix, because I know the steel is definitely superior to S45VN, which is still a very good steel, by the way. But if you can think of a way where the PM2 is going to outperform this, please let us know in the comments, because I'm always looking to learn more, right? And that's I want that to be the platform of this channel. Okay, I want to provide accurate information to everybody, and I would also like to learn in the process. And if I ever say anything that's wrong or incorrect, I hope that somebody will tell me in the comments so I can fix that, redact that, and just learn about it, because, misinformation is a dangerous thing, guys. But with all that being said, I digress. The Spyderco Manix 2 in M390. And these are Frag G10 scales, by the way. I think it looks great. I think it feels great. It certainly slices nicely. And man, it's just a very, very genius design. So, yep, there it is, guys. The Spyderco Manix in M390. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.